Whenever you come across this tarot reading, there is someone that learned about the power of their words because of you. All right, you taught someone a lesson of watch your mouth. Now, someone spoke words upon your life. It could be with the candle, but you taught someone, though, a spiritual lesson of watch your mouth. This is someone who, and this really looks more of just like, you know what, F that person. I hope that they get this. But the second that they did that, what they don't realize is they activated something. All right. The second they said something, they uttered something upon your life, they activated your spiritual protection. And you taught someone a spiritual lesson of words are powerful. All right. I think of the book of Genesis, right? If we are to truly believe in those things, right? If we're to believe in the teachings it is that we say that we do, then we should believe in the power of our own words and voice. All right, there was someone pissed off with you. So I'll share that here. And it's just you. So someone's focused on just you. Focused on just you, observing you, watching you. And then we do have revealing the truth, confessions, shedding light. The truth about this person is they're focused on you, but this person is so angry with you. Because we have angry twice. But you taught someone a lesson of, oh, watch your mouth. You know, you could definitely be angry with me, but don't go speaking upon my life like that. That's the lesson rather that you taught this person. We are fired up, fuming with rage, overwhelming explosion of emotions, and very angry. And then bitterness, resentment, anger, and hurtful words. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words are magic. I like that right there. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but understand that your words, sometimes they hold even greater power, right? And so let's dive deeper into this. Let's see what's going on in your energetic field and with the situation. Now, whenever you're watching this, though, it can be for you. The reading is general and timeless, just a confirmation. And I hear the word logos, which what I was really seeing was the mystery schools and the power of thought, of speech. Okay, and we do have communication praise, the word Lord. Look at that, the word Lord or Lady here. Which for some of you, you may resonate with Goddess Isis Osset, which she's like the goddess of the power of speech and word. But whenever you're watching this, again, it's timeless, general and timeless for all zodiac signs. And if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private session with me, to join our Patreon Blue Rose Mystery School, to become a Blue Rose member, or to download the mini Akashic Records course, check out the box below. It has the website 144bluerosetemple.com and everything that you need. All right, what does the collective? Yeah, someone thinks that just because, look at that, trust and strategy, like a chess piece. Someone feels like just because they're not saying it to your face, that it's okay. We have invisible here. So this is someone who's not saying it to your face, but it's still not okay. For some of you. Are you the book of Genesis? And I just say that though, because again, like there's some sort of big spiritual lesson that someone learned through you that it's like, words are very powerful. Watch your mouth. You know, there is power in the tongue. Now, what do we have for the collective today? Why do we have focused on just you, anger, fuming with rage? Why do we have focused on just you, anger, and fuming with rage? Now, I will say, what's that? There's a song lyric come through. You're someone that it doesn't work, where it's almost like they're fighting with a brick wall, where you're teaching someone a very powerful lesson. This person's very upset with you, but they also cannot control you. It's interesting here where you're, not that it's only fueling you, but I will say you're still succeeding here, and it pisses off this person more. Now, for the collective here, what is this anger and fuming with rage? Oh, you're someone that you taught this person a lesson, though, where This person felt like they were arguing with a brick wall. And when I tell you, you pissed this person off, you pissed them off. But you're someone that they were upset with you. And we're going to maybe see why. But the fact that their words like didn't work upon you, or your life only got better. So it's like they leave your life, they're pissed off at you, they feel as if you should receive something, and you get like the opposite in your life. You got success. We have the shadow king or queen here, all right? Abundance, compensation, and resurrection, where you only rose and got paid through this situation. And you taught someone, though, a lesson here of they cannot project upon you. Like, I just see someone kind of like spewing like acid. 555 as I say that, towards you through words. Now I'm going to grab another deck. What do we have here? What do we have here for the collective for focused on just you? Anger, fuming with rage. That is the truth. All right. Truth, revelations, and understanding. First the truth will piss you off, but then it sets you free. You taught someone, though, a lesson of if it's the truth, revealing the truth. There we go. First the truth pisses you off, but then it sets you free. And that's a quote. But that quote is actually this tarot reading here, where someone is so pissed off, but there's something they cannot control. Say, for example, you're wearing the color yellow, like the yellow candle. I can't stand it when people wear the color yellow, this or that, You taught someone, though, a lesson of if you don't like it, stop looking at it. 707, as I say that, so you could be seeing the number 777. If you don't like it, stop looking at it. And this person, in some way, shape, or form, wanted to, like, they're just upset that they cannot control you in some way, shape, or form. All right, why do we have focused on just you? Anger, fuming with rage. You sent this person into healing. We have here restoration, cure, and safety. A lot of Kalima energy I'm feeling here. Sometimes the liberation is through rage and through anger. But there's a lesson here. You cannot project your fire onto someone else. That's a teaching of Kalima. Kalima is the goddess of anger and of rage, of wrath. Wrath is different than human anger and rage. There is such thing as God's wrath, which is also the energy of fire. There is also anger and rage from the lower human mind and subconscious, which is also the energy of fire. One is true, one is not. There was someone who is very upset with you, but it's not wrath, right? There's someone who's just upset with you. Is this the truth about you? Is this God's judgment? It's showing that it's not. And we have truth here, and then restoration, cure, and safety. You sent someone into healing of you cannot control other people. There is someone here that's upset with you. But you taught them the lesson of there's something along the lines of you're not doing anything wrong here. Where someone may have not liked something, but we cannot simply just destroy everything that we don't think is okay. There's something along the lines of that here. Like someone trying to play God's judgment of like, this is not okay. Destroy it. And then there's discernment, because there's the true fire, resurrection, and then there's the fire of anger and of rage. But there's a difference between God's wrath and human rage and emotions. Someone got confused here. Someone's projecting and spilling this upon you, when in some way, shape, or form, it kind of has nothing to do with you. We do have extrasensory perception, ESP. So you're sensitive to energy is also what I'm seeing in this reading. You're safe here. And I will say this person felt like they were arguing with a brick wall because there's a spiritual brick wall. This person felt like they were arguing with a brick wall because there's something that might be true to you, like crystallization. So crystallization is what is true, right? What is crystallized cannot be destroyed. There's some part of you that's like true, in some shape, whatever it may be, okay? This person doesn't like it, but they also cannot control it. And we do have the green man, rising, energy surge, and fertility. 144, as I say that. So you could be seeing the number 144. I'm going to grab another card of advice. I'm going to grab from this deck. I'm being led to grab from this deck. What do we have here? What do we have here for the collective on? Focused on just you. Anger, fuming with rage. First, the truth will piss you off, and then it sets you free. This reading is interesting. Now, I read this entire channel through a very Plutonian perspective. Saturn, Pluto, sanctuary, respected boundaries and taboos over here. Respected boundary and taboo. But here's the thing about taboo, right? Taboo is even in spirituality. What is taboo for you could be different for someone else. Now, we think of the words taboo in society. I'm going to share with you today what a spiritual taboo is. A spiritual taboo is like an allergy, where in ancient mystery schools, we kind of have spiritual taboos. There are things that we're not meant to really touch, but it doesn't mean that someone else can't touch it. So you could have a spiritual allergy that is unseen, right? So for example, the allergy of peanut butter. Don't go around peanut butter. You may not die, you may be just fine if you eat peanut butter, but there's also a chance that it could be terrible. You could end up in the hospital. Spiritual taboos work the same way. Now, there's something here in this reading that someone's like, no, make it stop. This isn't good. They may not agree with it. It may not work in their life. It doesn't mean it doesn't work in yours. Taboo. And so I will say this reading is going deep, where this person, they had pent up rage anyway. First, the truth will piss you off, but then it sets you free. Where this person ended up becoming liberated. We're not even in the tarot yet, collective, okay? This person ended up becoming liberated. Escape from captivity and restriction. Rescue, soul cage. This is someone that denied their own shadow, and through you owning your shadow, it kind of like triggered them so much to the point that it just liberated them. Like, what I'm also seeing in this reading is someone who doesn't really get angry often, but through you, they were like, no, this is not right. This is unjust. It was like, there it goes. Where this person violated your personal space. Where again, like it was a brick wall to this person where this is showing as truth. Let's get into the tarot here. It's the kind of situation, like say for example, this golden skull. No, you put a cross there right now. No, stop it, but to the point where like they really get into it. And then realizing, like what's good or bad, say for someone else is not, say, good or bad for the other person. You helped someone own their shadow in this reading. Because no matter what they did towards you, it never worked. And so you helped this person own the shadow that they kept trying to like vilify you for. Why do we have focused on just you, anger, fuming with rage? Why do we have focused on just you? Why do we have focused on just you, anger, and fuming with rage? Judgment. Could be a Gemini, could be a Scorpio. We do have the Lover's card. Why do we have Judgment for focused on just you, fuming with rage and angry? Why Judgment and the Ace of Coins in reverse for focused on just you? Oh, don't be funny with my money, honey. What do we have here for the Eight of Coins for focused on just you, angry and fuming with rage? Why Eight of Coins and the Three of Coins in reverse for focused on just you? Oh, and then why the Nine of Wands for focused on just you, angry and fuming with rage? Why the Nine of Wands? Why the Knight of Cups and the Hangman for angry, focused on just you? You forced someone to shift their perspective because someone was forcing something upon you. This reading is very interesting. I will say this is a tarot reading of Spider-Man that's pointing at Spider-Man. Evil twin. Yeah, there's a song. It's with justice here. There you go. Divine order and balance. Now, there is a song that says, if I'm evil, then I guess you're evil then. You know, like an evil twin. I don't know, something like that. Where it's like, oh, evil twin. This is someone who's like, no, make it stop. But their third eye is blocked here, the Eight of Swords. It's interesting here. Why Devil card? Let's start out at the beginning. Why the Judgment card here? Why Judgment? For focused on just you, angry, fuming with rage. Why Judgment? This is a tricky situation. This was very initiating for this person. The Hierophant here, Taurus energy. The Hierophant is also the card of initiation. And again, you know, when it came to the shadow here, like this was kind of initiating for this person. This was someone that kept calling out judgment in regards to you, not realizing they started out a whole spiritual like warfare, but upon themselves, by trying to call judgment upon you in some way, shape, or form. Now, I will say there is someone who tried to call upon misfortune when it came to you. This is someone that's like, oh, that person, they need to stop focusing on the money. They need to go through this in order to learn, to heal, to this or to that. This is like, I'm hearing the Jungian mind. Because with the Moon card, the Seven of Swords, this is the unconscious, the subconscious. This is a very shadowy subconscious energy that can get tricky. With the Moon card and the Seven of Swords. Make sure that you don't trick yourself kind of thing. Five of Swords here. This person had a choice. Or what this person doesn't realize is they're the ones that are in the shadow. But again, they're looking at you and they're seeing you as the shadow. But they're the ones in the shadow in this situation. Now, there's someone here. I will say they were speaking things upon your life, but you're the first person where like, watch your mouth. Why the Three of Coins in reverse? The Eight of Coins and the Two of Cups. Why the Three of Coins in reverse? The Eight of Coins and the Two of Cups. Now, this is someone who, because they're upset with you, they're just like, they need to learn a lesson for everybody kind of thing. Where's the collective's energy in this reading? Where is the collective's energy in this reading? 4, focused on just you, angry, fuming with rage. Where's the collective's energy? You're at peace and you walked away from this person. 4 of Swords is also kind of a card of spiritual authority because usually there's a hidden sword here. Something that they didn't quite see. What's the energy of the other person in this reading? What's the energy of the other person? Why Two of Coins and the Six of Cups? What's the energy of the other person? This person's trying to get clarity from the past over here. Why the Two of Coins and the Six of Cups for the energy of this person? Yeah, this is someone here who, there we go, could be an Aries, Leo, Sag. We're having Page of Cups. There's a lot of page energy here. We're not in Kansas anymore, is what I'm hearing. Page of Cups, Two of Coins, the Six of Cups. This is someone who has a very childlike, innocent energy, and that's a beautiful thing. But this is like the energy. How do I word this? Naive can be a beautiful thing. Sometimes naive can be like a little bit less experienced. There's something along the lines here of now, why the Two of Coins for this person in this reading? What's the energy of the other person in this reading? Why the Two of Coins? What's the energy? Why the Two of Coins here? What is the energy of the other person? I will say they had a choice here. Two of Wands, Two of Coins. Why the Six of Cups for the energy of the other person in this reading? This is also someone who's stuck in the past. Why the Six of Cups, the Emperor, and the Tower card? And why the Knight of Coins here? This is someone. You guys own your shadow differently. I will say this is someone who's very naive and innocent. This is someone who's kind of like a saint energy. Everything should be good. Everything should be love and light and bright and sunny. Everybody should be, this person feels very childlike, and that is a beautiful thing. And I do believe we should all maintain a sense of childlikeness, purity, and innocence. But it's almost like this person, not that they're not in reality, what this person realized through you is their reality is not reality. And that's ultimately what this person realized. You're not in Kansas anymore. The whole world is not completely love and light. And there is, I almost want to say like there's shadow in this world. You're someone that really owned your shadow. This is someone here. Yeah, they were trying to control you at the end of the day, which is a shadow. So this is someone who believes that and not even believes, they could very well be a good person, yes. But we understand in the tarot, the sun card, the star card, if you look into the light too much, you are blind to that shadow that's casted behind you. And that's ultimately what this reading is saying. There is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or an Aries, Leo, Sag here that has a completely different reality and belief system than you. And that's like what I'm seeing here. But the key thing here is it doesn't mean that you're wrong. You're also not the devil card, but I will say this person feels like you're the devil card. A lot of 444, and I got sudden chills as I said that too. The number that could be associated with this person could be 444. There are some people that believe the devil card does not exist. Okay, like you're someone that it's like devil card doesn't exist. And this person's like, that person's the devil card, Who's right, who's wrong? Why the Four of Swords? Why the Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords for the collective energy in this reading? Why the Four of Swords? No, why the Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups for the collective's energy? Interesting. Your energy here, I can see why this person is pissed off at you. It's almost like you're doing it on purpose, but you're not. You taught this person a big lesson, another 4, but here's the thing. That person is being seen as 444 in this reading. When it came to your energy, you are the 4 in reverse. Like you took them and you completely reversed it here. Where? Perspective. With the eye here, right? And then the Temperance card. You guys are in a completely different reality, and you basically taught this person a lesson. Not that you can't that they can't control you. Because it's not like, like a ruly teenager. You're not trying to be that way, not at all. But it's more of, for some of you, maybe the word colonize. Do not bring that belief system. Like, I can respect your belief system and live in a completely different one, and we could be hunky-dory and good. This person, though, is not like this person. They want to control your belief system and how you operate, how you are. And I will say it had something to do with the shadow in some way, shape, or form. That could be that you own maybe rage or sensuality. You own your grief. You have the healthy boundaries. You don't hide anything. You're authentic, whatever this may be. And I will say this person has a very just like saint-like approach, which again, that's okay here. You're not saying that that's not okay, but I will say this person's saying that you're not okay. Four of Cups in reverse with the Temperance card here. You're kind of throwing it back at this person, and the numbers 444 are coming up in your part of the reading too, but it's more of you walked away of like, no, that's not, that's not me. That's you, but that's not me. Temperance card. You're at peace. Now, for the collective here, focused on you, fuming with rage and angry. Interesting. Why the Devil card in reverse and the Eight of Swords for the outcome? Why the Devil card in reverse? Now, by the end of this reading, we do have Capricorn, Aries. We have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius as well. For the Devil card in reverse, the Eight of Swords. We have the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and then the Two of Coins over here, and the Ace of Cups. Why the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords for the Devil card in reverse and the Eight of Swords? Enlightenment, the Sun card here. Why the Two of Coins for the Devil card in reverse and the Eight of Swords? Whoa. This person learned a lesson here. But here's the thing. This is the person that's in the Sun card, but they are the one that got the shadow and learned the lesson, where you taught someone a lesson about control, where say even what's good and what's bad. You're not the Devil card in this reading. Devil card in reverse. They're trying to block and stop something that doesn't need to be blocked and stopped. And so this person ended up getting their own karma, Five of Coins and the Four of Wands in reverse. There's someone here that got like a form of karma of misfortune because of what they did to you. Now, why the Devil card in reverse to close out this reading? Why the Devil card in reverse? Whoa. Now, I will say for some of you, you're showing up as either Taurus or Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The High Priest or High Priestess is not the devil. This is someone who has wisdom of the shadow, or someone who owns their power. So you're showing up, though, as someone who, for some of you, someone tried to say that you're dark. This is someone who's just like, kind of like a saint, love and light, the Sun card kind of energy. Even the sun casts a shadow when you stand in it. And they tried to say that you were dark. Now, for some of you, this is someone who felt like you shouldn't have what you have because you're dark. Not true. You are not the Devil card at all. You show up as the Devil card in reverse, and this person tried to put a blockade upon you. Why the Eight of Swords here for the collective for this reading? Why the Eight of Swords for the collective for this reading? At the end of the day, they were just simply trying to shroud your power. That is very divine. All right, this is someone who is trying to accuse you of being dark. Everything they're throwing your way is coming back at them. And I will say at the beginning of this reading, they felt like they were dealing with a brick wall when it comes to you. This person feels like you are hard-headed, like you are just, I will say they don't think you're a good person here. This person is just like, oh, nothing gets to them. They're just a brick wall. But you have to own your power. What this person in your life doesn't realize is they're the karmic ones to you. Ace of Wands, the Seven of Wands, you're very protected, and they didn't place this upon anything bad. They were trying to place this upon your truth. And that's the key thing in this reading. Now, what is the outcome for the collective? You end up getting the Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Coins over here. Okay? So you're receiving something from the universe, Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And what is the advice for the collective for dealing with this person? They're just simply trying to spew their fears and negativity upon you. We have the Nine of Swords, which is mental pain, agony, fear, anxiety, excessive thoughts, etc. And then the Five of Wands. And so someone is in their own mental conflict. And ultimately, I will say it has to do with their belief system. There's something that they feel like you do, and I feel like it's just something you own about you. But I will say at some point, whether that be past, present, or future, this person felt like you were dark. And you ended up like you're showing up as a strong high priest or high priestess energy. And this person was like initiated through the shadow, where they ended up having to reflect themselves over here. All right, so let's grab some final advice. What is some advice for the collective? What is advice for the collective on focused on just you, fuming with rage and angry? Yeah, you gave this person a reflection over here. What you contemplate can actualize. You taught this person about the power of words. You try to contemplate upon someone's life misfortune. They're a terrible person. I hope that everybody sees them that way. And then it just ended up kind of coming back to this person here. Someone wanted like people to see you in a different way, in a dark way or in a negative fashion. It ended up not working here. What other advice do we have for the collective for focused on just you, fuming with rage and angry? Your journey is your journey, and that's what you taught this person, where everybody has their own journey. And we cannot control someone else's journey. Introversion, seeker, and self-knowledge. It's different than this person. And it may even really reflect this person's belief systems, etc. But this is your journey, sacred journey here. And then we do have the leap, ecstasy, bliss, and belief over here, where, you're saying yes to the universe in this reading. And I see blessings upon you. And again, that in itself, your success kind of teaches this person a lesson. Now, what do we have here for the collective on focused on just you, fuming with rage, very angry? You taught this person a lesson of their words or even their thoughts. Magician and the mirror. When a high priest or high priestess is initiated, and again, I don't believe, that, we are initiated by God at the end of the day. And then I also believe it's beautiful for people to take a grounded and embodied high priest or high priestess path, if that's what calls to them. Now, for the high priest or high priestess path, what people don't realize about mystery school, unlike like TikTok and YouTube spirituality, you had to master your thoughts and your mind and your speech before you were ever able to touch a candle. Like if people of today went to the mystery schools of Egypt, and it's not to be controlling. You were meant to master your mind, your emotions, before you ever touched a candle or stepped into mystery school. And so there's someone, though, that kind of spewed towards you. With the magician and the mirror here, you taught someone a lesson, though, of their power, where it's like, hey, whether you know it or not, your words are powerful and they can come back to you. What it is that you wish upon someone else. And then we have adjacent possibilities, okay, where doors are opening for you, okay, and this person feels it. Maybe they see it. It does say focused or observed on just you, and they know it. All right, that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.